Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the PML Wrestling Show. It's the PML Crew. Rich Lopez, Tom Malloy, Robert Price. Top shelf, as always. Hope you guys are doing well. Homeboy, how you doing, man?
Dude, doing good, man. Getting ready for the 4th of July weekend. Looking forward to that.
It is a bash, yes.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. I am doing that as well. How was your week? Last time we talked, you went to a bazaar. Which I found out is more of a terminology for NEPA people, northeastern Pennsylvania. So people call them picnics too or something like that.
Church picnics.
Yeah, there you go, church picnics, yeah. How was it, though?
Dude, it was good.
Saw the familia, I heard.
Yeah, thickest potato pan. I like a thick potato pancake.
Do you really?
Yeah. Sam was like, so we get in line, she sees them, she's like, they're kind of thick. And then she's like, do you guys have sour cream? They're like, no.
What?
They're like, we ran out.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Sam's like, how do you run out?
Dude.
I was like,
I don't know. You gotta pay that extra.
Yeah.
People will pay that extra.
Extra $1 for it, so that, they get it in.
Polish food around here, dude, insane.
So
you gotta go on first day.
I had that, and I just ate it with ketchup. I was like,
I was asking, what do you put on yours? Because you're about to be shocked with what I say. If I didn't tell you before, no, that's Christine. That's actually not Christine.
I like sour cream or ketchup or just hot sauce and sour cream, but that's just me.
Never heard of the hot sauce. That's probably really good. My family raised me on jelly.
Shit.
Don't knock it, though.
Don't knock it.
Flaherty used to knock me all the time.
Yeah.
I know when we were living together and my grand made it for us, that's how he started eating them. So, I don't know what he does now.
I'll have to try that.
Yeah, dude, it's good. I've also never liked sour cream, so that's probably another reason why they gave jelly to me. Ketchup, that's just so effing boring.
It is. It's all they had there.
Hot sauce that makes sense. Like a necessity, yeah, you got to do that. I completely agree. But if I have my choices, like I would try applesauce probably before ketchup. I would definitely try hot sauce before ketchup.
Yeah, hot sauce makes everything better. But that's just me.
No, it's 100% accurate what you just said.
Yeah.
Accurate statement. Before we get into some other things, before we actually do our watch along, we do want to say we are watching SummerSlam 92. And we're going to watch, of course, when you're thinking 92, you're thinking of Wembley Stadium, you're thinking of Bulldog and Bret Hart, and that's what we're going to watch. So to give you guys a timestamp, get on that Peacock, get at SummerSlam 92 with this shitty database, and then once you get to SummerSlam 92, you're going to go to 2 hours, 12 minutes, 5 seconds. Again, that's 2 hours, 12 minutes, 5 seconds. We're going to watch British Bulldog versus Bret Hart. And with that being said, while you guys are finding your time, Homeboy and I have decided, due to different priorities, obviously there's no rift between us. We're homeboys for life. We grew up together. But no, priorities meaning work, children now. It's just hard to find time. We're thinking about calling it quits in a couple weeks. So it's been a hell of a run, about 8 years.
Yeah, a lot of peaks and valleys for sure.
Yeah, the highest of the highs, obviously the lowest of the lows when, we went from 3 to 2. But we obviously hopefully did Price proud. It's been 5 years since that. So we just thought it was probably the best time of all. Obviously you have baby number 2 on the way. Can't wait to see little homeboy Malloy. Kenty's also getting bigger. Sierra's getting bigger. Work's getting more. We're trying to advance professionally. This was a hobby. It was just a way for us to hang out once a week. We're still going to do that, but I meant like for us, when we started out, it was us to be like, hey, like, podcasts are kind of cool. Let's get together and just talk wrestling. And we did that, but then we kind of talked about it on last week's show. It was everybody has a podcast now.
Yeah.
And the only way you get really, really successful nowadays, I mean, you could get lucky with your entertainment, but most of the time, what attracts the entertainment is the viewers and the guests. So obviously, we don't have that pool to be pulling in, a Brock Lesnar or a Cena, or even we could pull, Killian, who's on his way up, awesome wrestler, great working with him back in the day, and even Moran, who's been doing great. But I mean, for us to keep doing this, we'd rather just probably hang out on the couch, watch, have a drink like we're doing, maybe get some food and just like watch a pay-per-view or watch a match or two, and then go back home and hang out with the family. So it was mutually decided. We're still gonna hang out, but just obviously probably not record. And thanks to the Price family for letting us continue with this. Thanks to all you guys for watching and making us continue this. But we just think that it's just too much to handle right now. And we're not gonna say like never say never, but it just right now it's just. This is becoming like on the back burner, rightfully so. Like families first. work is, next, and then in this. So, but, we'd rather just hang out as like a free time, not worry about recording and posting and
editing. There's a lot of background stuff too, and it's thankfully for you for doing all that.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
And I really appreciate that. But dude, let's do a
shizot
to the show, to Price, and to more years to come.
And hopefully I don't throw up after the wedding I had this weekend. But I agree. Toast to the 8 years.
That was not terrible. So those who are listening,
yeah.
I have a bottle here of small batch number 9 Iowa whiskey, brewed by Slipknot. My brother-in-law Dylan gave this to me. It's stronger than I thought it was going to be.
I had a terrible weekend of drinking.
Well, I hope it didn't bring it all back, but
no, that taste did, dude. I don't even know if I could. This might be the quickest show of all time. Yeah, no, I'm only kidding. It's rough, but. Continue. Sorry, Slipknot whiskey.
Slipknot whiskey, honestly, pretty strong. Much stronger than a Jack Daniels.
What the hell did you expect? It's Slipknot.
If you're 5'5", I guess then I'm 6'6". Whatever, that's a song quote. But yeah, it was pretty strong.
I should have got my Gatorade in the car. I guess I'll have it for after the show.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes.
You got the Miller Lite. It'll calm it down.
Dude, weekend was crazy with drinking. I thought I was back in my college years, and I never ever talk like how I'm talking right now, so that's how you know it was crazy. So hopefully I don't have, even for Mark's bachelor party when we're getting together for that in a couple weeks,
yeah,
I don't plan to get to that level.
Yeah, I just
even
plan on
Dunn's
drinking,
whenever Dunn
I just plan on drinking a lot of beers, but not that liquor level.
Well, you see what I drink on the show.
Yeah.
It's usually like one Crown Peach, or even when I'm home. So what I drink here is usually what I drink home. Not even every night either. It's like every 3 or 4, but it's like one seltzer or like one of those Crown Peaches. I didn't even have the lemonade yet. I was gonna bring it here, but I was like, you know what? Let's save it. I'll probably save it for next week's show when we cover Survivor Series.
Modelo kick.
That's a good beer though.
Very good Mexican beer.
But anyway, so with these last couple of weeks, right now we're gonna be covering SummerSlam '92. We figured the last 2 weeks ago was Money in the Bank. The week before that it was King of the Ring. And then we're like, okay, well, those are kind of like the biggest pay-per-views outside the Big Four. So we kind of got lucky with timing. This week is SummerSlam '92. We're going to pick out a Survivor Series for next week. Malloy already has a match in mind. Then we're each going to watch... Survivor Series. Then we're going to do the Rumble '92. Probably universally... most people universally agree that it's the best Rumble ever. Or at least the most important for significance. So we're going to watch the '92 Rumble. And then we are going to each pick a WrestleMania match and put it on one show. So we're looking at like around about an hour for the last couple shows. So bear with us, but it's just a way for us to kind of give closure with, we each, we wanted to switch up the show, do a watch along. So we're like, all right, well, let's at least cover one match of like the Big Four.
Yeah.
Luckily, we did a Money in the Bank and we did a King of the Ring, which used to be like the 5th biggest, you know what I mean? And obviously Money in the Bank is still 5th biggest. So we kind of got lucky with the coverage aspect of it. And then after the Mania matches, we're just going to do one final shebang, just us freestyling, freeballing, just having fun. We always have fun, but like no script. Whatever the hell we want to talk about. Just to kind of close out, put a little bow on the 8-year run.
I think we should do a biopic on Naked Midian, but that's just me.
We can give him some shine for sure. About 5 minutes, if longer. No pun intended.
He got more screen time than that, though.
Yeah, you're right. But that's kind of like the little itinerary of how we're gonna wrap up the show. We still got about 4 or 5 weeks for that. But in the meantime, if you guys want us to cover anything, maybe on the last week of the show, or talk about stuff on social media, or talk about something briefly while you guys are finding your time stamps or whatever. Definitely reach out to us at PML Show, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Again, like obviously we might stop the show soon, but we'll still have the social media accounts. We still like to talk wrestling. We don't get to watch it as much as we used to, which is another reason why we were thinking about stopping the show. We came to that decision, but especially old stuff that we're going to be covering match-wise, that's what we do. So all that to say, thank you guys for watching us these past 8 years. Thank you for continuing to watch us the last 5 or 6 episodes. But all that to say, we're going to do our 3, 2, 1 play as usual. Again, 2 hours, 12 minutes, 5 seconds. You should be seeing Diana and Sean Mooney. And we're going to do 3, 2, 1 play. Ready? So 3, 2, 1, play.
Action.
I'll turn that down. I forgot about that. But anyway, we have Diana here, and I wanted to start off with that. I didn't want to do like the face-off or the. I mean, I wanted to do something before the entrances, but I feel like this was like almost forgotten about because when you think of like love triangle, you obviously think of the Mega Powers first, right? Because that's an actual like love triangle. But this one's kind of a love triangle in regards to family, which I feel like could be a little bit. I don't know what you think people could relate to more, like the family aspect of it or like the lust aspect of a love triangle.
To me, I'm more or less, I guess because I never had a sister, I guess so I really wouldn't know what that's like. But I do know what it's like if your buddy or your friend has a girlfriend and that girl's interested in you too. So like being in those.
Your games, my
yeah, dude. Boom! That was still the strongest whiskey I ever drank in my life. Still thinking about that.
I almost said the F word. That's the other thing too. These last couple of weeks, we might just whatever. So I fucking hate you for making me drink that after the.
Do you
Sean, oh, by the way, congratulations to Sean and Lauren. What the hell am I thinking? They're the ones who got married and had a blast. Yes, sorry. Yeah,
you grew up.
Yeah, you think of Burke. Yeah, I'd say I'd be formal.
Burke.
Yeah, to be formal.
Came a long way from doing bombs at Vesuvio's.
Yeah.
But that's still that's definitely the strongest whiskey I ever put in my body. And I've drinking a lot of whiskey. But no, I would relate more to the Liz Hogan, Macho Man aspect. Even the Flair Macho Man.
Oh,
Liz
true.
thing.
That's another one. Yes,
I like how that played out over the years.
That's more like an affair, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this one's different. I mean, I guess
protective.
Like Bret's like his little sister doesn't want her in the business. There's some realism, I'm sure, to it.
Of course.
I know Stu Hart, listening back on this episode, was not cool with Martha. He didn't want any of his girls involved with the business. Diana, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
He didn't want any of them involved, and
this crowd's crazy.
He didn't even want them dating the wrestlers. So I mean, that's obviously did not work out because
because Neidhart had
Helen Hart. No, Helen.
No. I think the daughter of Stu dated. Yeah, Jim Neidhart. They're stepbrothers, right? What? Or like they're brother-in-laws, right? Neidhart and
Brett.
They're brother-in-laws.
Yeah,
right?
He married one of Brett's sisters.
Brett's sisters, and then obviously Bulldog is a brother-in-law because Brett's sister married a wrestling thing. But that's what, like you said, that was gonna happen. I mean, Stu ran a promotion
out of his house.
Out of his house. It's not like
he had a basement. He had a dungeon.
Yeah, it's
not like, the women.
It's not like he was working at a grocery store. You still want them to marry wrestlers, like. This is always forgotten about, too. Like, Lennox Lewis, what he's about to become in, 10 years. This 92.
Who is Lennox Lewis?
What?
What?
A boxer?
Yeah.
World heavyweight champion, dude? The one that knocked out Tyson?
Really?
I think he made him retire.
I knew that. I heard that before on a podcast.
Yeah, dude. He made Tyson. I think he retired for a little bit, or permanently. But that was literally 10 years later, he's champion. I'm pretty sure in 2002 he was world heavyweight champion, or at least 2001. But yeah, it's kind of forgotten about that he walks out with Bulldog. But look at this crowd, dude. Wembley Stadium. We're gonna be back there. September?
Yeah, dude. That'll be big. I think that's gonna be a big moment for Drew McIntyre.
Think so? I can see
Sheamus. Has Sheamus been on television? I don't know.
We don't even know. That's new stuff. We don't cover new stuff too.
Yeah, so it'll be big, I think, for Drew. But did you like that Bret was the opponent here in the storyline, or you think they should have had an American wrestle, maybe a Shawn Michaels or even a Ric Flair?
I just think it was so, as long as you had the Bulldog in the main event, I think it didn't matter if it was a Canadian or American. I just think that people were so, because people love
North
Bret.
American content.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It was just gonna be Bulldog. And before we do a rundown of the card, I just think it's really cool. That was really weird. I was actually thinking about it on the way here. This is the first I thought it was the first pay-per-view where, in the Hogan era, so 85 to right now 92, where this is either the main event was the actual world title match, or it was a Hogan match.
Yeah.
And this is obviously for the Intercontinental Championship, so in a way, on card psychology back in 92 was, all right, well, this is the last match. This is the bigger than the World Championship match. And
it would be bigger, I guess, in this area because it's the Intercontinental. That means multiple continents and everything else. So,
maybe,
it's a pretty big deal. I mean, the Intercontinental title meant a lot. I still think here.
I think Survivor Series 91 had but I think the reason why was because Undertaker was a heel and he won the title, so you needed to send people home happy. Which that main event was garbage. This one's actually a good main event, but again, this was for the IC title. But I guess you're right though, like on the importance of the match. But I don't know, like that's the thing though. You wouldn't base it on it? I mean, this is the first time they're going overseas. Like overseas, obviously WrestleMania 6 was in Toronto, but that's across the border.
Yeah.
But like that's the thing though. Do you cater to your region, so to speak, or do you cater for your company? Because if you're catering to your company, which you should, right? It would be the WWE title.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do understand your logic. It makes 100% sense.
Yeah, I don't think Davey Boy would have been good in that situation for the world title. I just don't think at this point in time he was there.
Yeah.
Maybe if he was still there in like 95, 96, by that point in time when Bret was world champion, I think that would have been perfect to have a rematch at one of those SummerSlams, but that just wasn't in the cards.
Of course.
And they could have looked at this story and then went back and did it again, or even had a Rumble or something like that.
That gear is sick by Bret. Yeah. I'm always a big fan of like the pink with the black. I don't know. This looks a little different. It looks cool compared to. It's so weird because he's always had like obviously pink and black, but obviously different variations with the.
Yeah.
With the, I guess I would say the bomber and the pants. I guess would be the. I don't know what that.
Even like a singlet pants. Yeah, that's what I would say. If I was to wear that, I guess you would just get pants and just have a singlet underneath and just tuck it in.
Yeah.
And probably gives you more padding on your legs.
It's like that shade of pink with that. Like it's cool. But yeah, I don't know. It's Davey Boy's just jacked here.
Yeah.
Straight up jacked. No wonder why he got popped like 3 months later. But this is another question I want to ask you before we're still going to cover stuff throughout the match. But Bret's notoriously said there's 2 options for SummerSlam 92. Obviously, Wembley was one, and that's when he's like, all right, if we're doing Wembley, it's got to be Bulldog. Or if it was DC, you're doing Shawn. I don't know if the ladder match was at stake, but 92 is the year that they did that. I call it the pilot match for the ladder. They did that Coliseum home video. I don't know if the ladder match was going to be done in 92 in Washington. But I'm going to give you like 3 options, but it's with 2 opponents. Do you like this match, obviously, the one that happened, because it is like globally acclaimed as a great match? Or would you like to see Shawn Michaels versus Bret, and we'll say a singles match or a ladder match? Which one would you take? Like rank them. Rank those 3.
I would say this match would have been better.
Okay.
Bret and Shawn, one of the best rivalries of all time. But this is just a technical wrestling match. To me, this is comparison to like anything Guerrero did. Anything like Guerrero, I would consider it like close to like Guerrero and RVD had a great stint of matches. Who else? Edge and Eddie had a great stint of matches. Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit style. Yeah. Like, this is where this fits to me, and I actually
sets the tone for future.
Yeah, and I actually appreciate this a lot more than for instance, looking at today's product, like a Hangman Page versus.
Bro, you don't ever shit on AEW. You're gonna start off shitting on AEW?
Yeah, just give it a little bit. I gotta poop on it a little bit.
A little feces look.
Yeah, something like a Hangman Page versus one of the flippy dippy guys. They all do like that kind of stuff, and that doesn't appeal to me.
Okay.
However, Shout Out, Hidden Door appeared to be whatever it was called, appeared to be very good. Good to see Cesaro.
Oh, you said Hidden Door? You mean Forbidden Door?
Forbidden Door, whatever.
I thought you were talking about the Hidden Door that Bulldog hurts his back on.
Yeah, no.
No, not at all.
And then he gets a nice settlement check.
He does, yeah. I mean, it also sets off his addiction, though, so it's almost like a high and low, obviously.
It's like Rick Rude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%.
Kind of the same thing.
Yeah, exactly that. I'm only torn because... though. It's a hindsight thing. Like, this is a great match, obviously, and great environment. First time over in London.
I feel like we didn't get to see as many of these matches as we did Bret and Shawn, so we get it down the road.
Exactly, but that's the reason. I think if they were able to build Bulldog, obviously he gets popped, so they have to release him.
Yeah.
But if they were able to build him, I would have loved to see what could have happened. Maybe I've always said it should have been Savage or Perfect or whatever at 93 WrestleMania 9. But hey, if you think about it, Bulldog loses the title to Shawn in fall of 92. Bret becomes champion in fall of 92. You could have maybe did a rematch of this at WrestleMania 9. Just throwing out options. You know what I mean?
This would have been way better than Yokozuna versus Bret because, one, I just never liked Yoko as champion.
Yeah, I don't think he needed to. It's almost like putting the belt on Andre. It's Andre is big. At that point, his legacy was bigger than the belt. Now, you could say Yoko wasn't, but I don't also think he was ready for the title.
No,
If
I
that
don't
makes
think
any
so
sense.
either. And
So
the way-
I think his size could have been the selling point until he was ready.
Yeah, and I think too, it's just like WWE had their monster guy who never got the belt, i.e. Andre. Could have been i.e. Yoko.
Yep.
And then you have like your Hogan, who has a title. Then you have like a Bret Hart. You have people like even Bossman filled that big guy role for a while.
He did 91.
91, yeah.
91. You're right.
I would rather see guys like Jake get the title, Mr. Perfect get the title, because their characters were so.
Yeah.
They were so much better than Yoko, and like Yoko, like too. It's just like if it was a weight thing, it was like there was. I don't know. I just feel like there wasn't a right story to beat him.
But there's always like a what if that could have happened.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
like,
and I would have liked that so much more.
Yeah, because he kind of gets misused in WCW, but I feel like at that point Bulldog just kind of went there for the he just went there for the paycheck. But you never know what could have happened in that the main event level. This could have been kind of like the Shawn Bret.
This is the entry.
This could have been the Shawn Bret rivalry before the Shawn and Bret rivalry.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm like all that to say, I'm interested to see like what could have happened at this SummerSlam because I feel like the Survivor Series match with Shawn and Bret later this year in '92 it's so forgotten about and it's so good. Like I think that's also a very good match. I mean that's also a testament to Bulldog and Shawn for being the opponents obviously, but that just proves like Bret Hart's '92 year because if you look at his big four, Rumble he's sick, so he's not there, but WrestleMania 8, you could argue the best match on the card with Piper. SummerSlam '92, best match on the card. Survivor Series '92, best match on the card. So, like, this is Bret Hart's year to me.
Yeah, it's one of his, I think, 92.
A little bit of heel work right here.
95 and 97 are his best years.
Yes. 92, 95, 97. I agree with that.
And looking at, like, honestly.
Oh, actually, let me rephrase that. I like 94 over 95.
Okay.
But not his fault. Booking's fault.
Booking
like, what
was
they
terrible.
did with. If you were a face at 95, you're just shit out of luck.
It's like being
There's
a
no
face
heels.
now.
Yeah, there's no heels. I mean, I guess you get. Well,
There's Roman now. Like, there's a bloodline, but that's it.
that's it.
Yeah.
But, like, the biggest heel in 95 in WWE was Mabel.
Facts.
Enough said. And that's why I don't give Diesel shit. That's why I don't give Bret shit. Don't even give Shawn shit.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, you're done with the cards you have. Like Bruce Pritchard said on his own show.
They could have had.
We made a list. These are our heels. These are our faces. So we just put them together. And that's what they did.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because Bruce is like Conrad's asking Bruce like all these questions like why did you this, why did you that? He goes, we made a list and this is what fit. And he goes, yeah, it was terrible booking.
Yeah.
But that's what we did at that point in time. And hey, you live and you learn by that.
Of course.
But honestly, like from 91 to me to literally like 97, the undercard was way better than the main eventers.
I can see that. I
mean, like right now you have like I would say main event spots: Taker, Hogan, Macho Man, Flair. This is good.
I do want to point out which one. Well, I'll go through the matches in a little bit, but I do want to point out that the Savage Warrior match is actually very good.
It's Warrior's best match he ever had, and I think it was the best match he ever had due to the fact that Macho Man called everything before he did the match. Warrior was never going to be a guy who said, let's call it in the ring, brother. He wasn't a wrestler. He was a sports entertainer. And I think Macho Man understood what a sports entertainer was. And, like, he knew how to be a wrestler. He knew how to be a Southern wrestler.
He was a wrestler first, sports entertainment second.
And
that's like a 60-40.
Yeah.
Where Warrior's like 80-20 sports entertainer.
But if you, like, yeah, exactly. And Vince probably saw that. He's like, this guy's a great character.
Yeah.
And he's not a good wrestler, but being a character could be better sometimes than being a wrestler if you could use the character right. And it did. I mean, hey. What's my favorite Warrior match? I'll say this match, but I can't label off a bunch of other matches besides WrestleMania.
I think the WrestleMania 7 Savage match is better than this one. Not by much. Maybe like by the length of Bret Hart and Bulldog's hair here. And then WrestleMania 6 match is pretty good too. Oh, and then the SummerSlam. I'll give you one. SummerSlam 89 with Rude is really good.
That is a really good match too.
Yeah.
Rude. But you look at the caliber of people he was working with. Of course. Rude was also a sports entertainer, but he was a wrestler.
He was a wrestler first, entertainer. Yeah. It's a thing where you learn. Like the wrestlers that learned wrestling first they understood what the sports entertainment factor was, so they catered to that when they had to. Where like people like Warrior, probably Goldberg, there were entertainers first.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, the wrestling will come with, but
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, and like too, like as you look at like even just kind of talk about other people on the card, you have Ultimate Warrior who's like not the best wrestler, and then he was teamed with Sting, who's on the other channel, Jim Crockett Promotions.
Yeah.
And like he wasn't the best wrestler either, but he got way better.
Yeah.
And I think it was the caliber of people he's working with.
Yeah,
and that's why I think
Arn
like Macho Man brought out the best in Ultimate Warrior here.
That shitty splash.
Because I don't think Hogan was going to, because Hogan did his 3 things, and he's like, okay, you do your 3 things, and that's
Hogan
it.
can wrestle though, but he just did what worked. He was
Yeah.
a wrestler first. He was a wrestler first, and then he went just to sports entertainment because that's what I think he was told to do that.
Yeah.
But if you ever see his Japan matches, he actually wrestles, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And a heel roll too. Smart man. Look at this Bret Hart heel. It's kind of weird. They're both face going into this. This is another thing too. This is on the card. I don't ever remember a card. Obviously, I'm not doing any research right now, but up to this point, where the co-main, which would have been the WWE Championship, Savage Warrior, and this main event, Hart and Bulldog, were both face, dude.
Well, that's something I really liked about this time, because it was just like wrestling was looked at as a sport.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that shot,
show.
dude. That shot's crazy.
Yeah, you don't see that.
The
You don't see that
overview.
AEW, you don't see that WWE, you don't see that TNA today.
I think it's the light. Like that it's not over the top lights like you would see at a Mania. It's just like 3 or 4 lights, but the rays off it just make it look so cool with the SummerSlam background. That was awesome. And just in case you guys are watching, if not, we're on Spotify or Apple, or wherever you get your podcast. We're at 2 hours, 28 minutes, 50 seconds. And Bulldog forgot where he was at. And Bret Hart just ripped his goddamn neck down.
Yeah.
And then Diana. I mean, I kind of wish she was utilized more because after this, they don't really utilize her until 1996 with the Shawn angle. And I feel like they kind of missed the boat where they could have used her in 94 with the Bret and Owen rivalry, especially when Bulldog kind of gets integrated back into WWE.
Yeah,
But-
I definitely would have used her like as a Liz-esque, like put her as a valet. Whatever. People. I mean, good-looking girl. She was there, and I mean, she was getting paid for this, so might as well like utilize her.
Yeah, of course.
And give her a small contract or something. She could travel with Bulldog. And,
Unless Bulldog was like, nah,
yeah.
I want to.
Because I think Bulldog, I don't think he was a womanizer as some other wrestlers were, but I think he was just like to go out and party.
Oh,
and,
of course.
Having your wife there, you're going to be like,
Yeah, it probably takes away some of the
life on the road.
being a boy, being one of the boys. Yeah. But let's just go over this card real quick again. SummerSlam 92, first time, I believe, on pay-per-view for sure. Wembley Stadium. I think in 91 they did the Horror Hall. Not Horror Hall. Albert Hall. So, I mean, that was like Coliseum home video. This is actually on pay-per-view. But anyway, August 31st, 1992, London, England, Wembley Stadium. 80,000 people, allegedly. That's what it says here on the wiki. Disputed. But anyway, we have, 10 matches? We actually have 11 matches. We'll start with the dark match. We got Jim Duggan and the Bushwhackers defeating the Mountie and the Nasty Boys. 6-man tag match. That'd probably be a good little, get the crowd
Just think,
pop.
80,000 people, and the average ticket was $50. $4 million.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Second dark match. Papa Shango versus Tito Santana, which is...
I can't believe I didn't know Papa Shango was already in there in 92. I thought he came
92,
in
yeah,
like-
he debuted. Well, I don't know. Sorry, he did not debut, but he shows up at WrestleMania 8, remember? And then Warrior comes out.
Yes.
Wow,
Charles Wright, a.k.a. Papa Shango, a.k.a. the Godfather, really had a long career in the WWE if you think about it.
Yeah, because
He did what, at least 10 years?
well, yeah. I mean, I don't know what happened in 93. 93 he was still Shango up until I think summer of 93 or something. But
Then he came back as Kama the Destroyer.
Kama in
right?
95, and then 97 was Kama in the Nation. 98 Kama in the Nation, and then early 99 was
Godfather.
late 98, early 99 was Godfather. So
And the Good Father.
then the Good
And
Father.
the Godfather came back.
And then Godfather came back, and then he was out. Then we're going to start off the main show here. Legendary shot, everybody sees it. Legion of Doom coming out on the bikes. They defeat Money Inc. Tag team match. Nails defeats Virgil. Rick Martel versus Shawn Michaels.
That's a really good match.
It's a good match. It's a weird little stipulation where you can't hit somebody in the face with their hands, but you could like drop kick them.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know. I mean, it's cool little psychology shit, but it's whatever. Anyway, it ended in a double count out. Natural Disasters, they were the champions. They defeated the Beverly Brothers. We had Crush defeating Repo Man. This is Hawaii Crush. Kona Crush, essentially.
Yeah.
Ultimate Warrior defeating Randy Savage for the WWF Championship. That was by count out, though. A lot of interference with Perfect and Ric Flair. Undertaker defeating Kamala. This also led to their casket match or coffin match, whatever they called it at Survivor Series 92. I didn't even know this was a dark match. Tatanka defeats Berserker. I was wondering why I never saw this. I was just saying, I thought it usually went from Undertaker right into this match. So
yeah.
That's why. That was the dark match, apparently. And then that's probably their dart match.
Dart match,
it was
sure.
It was definitely the dart match. And then we had the British Bulldog versus Bret Hart. Winner, you will find out at the end of this match. So, all that to say, you see the card, you heard the card. I don't know if you need to pull it up to see it. Is it weird to see Flair not actually wrestle? But then again, who does he wrestle if he was on the card?
If he's gonna wrestle, I would have preferred to see like a triple threat match for the world title.
They didn't do these back in the day, so you could have done it here.
Yeah, I think it would be like the first time. Or do even do a tag match and not even put the world title on the line here and have Warrior and Macho Man versus Perfect.
Well, Perfect has a back injury. That's why he can't do it. So maybe they were going to do that, but they were going to do that for Survivor Series, I guess. But it would have been Razor instead of Perfect.
Yeah, or I would have liked to see an even like, I don't even know. I guess I would put Flair versus Taker, but that would have still been weird.
Yeah, early. Too early.
Too early for that. It's not like you're gonna get the WrestleMania 17 match, which was very good, honestly. 18, yeah.
Mr. Hero.
But at the same point in time, I guess I really don't know if Flair fits in that card because he really does fit in with those guys.
He fits in with the two guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me throw a thing at you right now. What if we do, like, why not do a rematch of WrestleMania 8? Why not Savage and Flair? Screw Warrior. Do Warrior Papa Shango, actually, because that was a feud after WrestleMania 8, and it really never amounted to a...
Okay, I take that. I take that because that would actually be a pretty deep... That wouldn't be a great match, but the fans would go home happy because Warrior would come out, press slam him, call it a day.
Well, it's the lineage, too, because
yeah.
if you go back to the last big pay-per-view, I mean, Shango came out to attack Hogan, and Warrior came out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like... I know they did, like, their little rivalry, but that was all on TV. It was, like, actually on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, so that would probably be best for me because
gives a shit about Tito.
Yeah.
Now Tito could have been on the card, but obviously in a much lesser role.
Yeah, I mean Tito Santana.
It was actually a dark. It was a dark match, so I mean it was already a lesser role, but
yeah, that works for me. That works for me over that, and then have Flair
or
versus
Flair Warrior. Which one would you have wanted?
Flair Macho Man. Flair Warrior would have been terrible.
We never saw it though, so it would have been kind of cool to see.
I guess it happened on a house show once.
Shit the bed, I heard.
And it was terrible, and I guess Flair had some equilibrium issues at the match, but Flair said he had that like his whole career.
Yeah.
And he said the way Macho Man slammed him, he just wasn't, he's like, I was used to getting punched in the face. I was used to getting chops and kicks. He goes, he slammed the shit out of me.
Oh yeah, Warrior, yeah.
And Flair on his podcast with Conrad now is 10 times better than his original podcast.
With Conrad?
Yeah, with Conrad, and it's better than one Mark Madden.
Okay.
Because he literally is just like, yeah, this wasn't good. This was good. This like it's very just he knows how to. I think he knows how to do interviews now.
That makes sense. That 100% makes sense.
And like things like he doesn't know, he goes, I honestly don't remember that.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, you still listen to so many podcasts, so shout out to you.
I mostly just listen to the Flair stuff, and like even like I won't watch TV and I'll just listen to podcasts.
Shout out to you, man. If you guys want to keep listening to our podcast, even if when we're done with the show, you guys
there's
can
8
go
years
back.
worth of content, so maybe if you watch it.
Not when we went on Spotify. There's probably about 2 years, which is so crazy, right? Like
yeah.
2.5 years.
I can't believe it's been 5 years since Price was on the show. Like that's a whole other thing, but that's
yeah, 2022. Passed away at 17.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's when I met Sam a week later. Crazy how life works.
Yep, 100%. But yeah. So I think there's 2 to 3 years of content on our Spotify and Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts.
We're on Facebook and everything else. If you follow us and you follow the show, there's 8 years worth of content.
Probably, yeah, 100%. And if you
what
guys,
was it? The beginning of the show? It was called the Elbow Drop. Then we got canceled.
well, we did one week as a pilot. And we got a message. It was, hey, we already have this show. And I'm like, damn, Elbow Drop. I just loved it because of the people's elbow.
Yeah.
I never had the Rock background.
Yeah.
Like, it was a silhouette of him. It wasn't obviously just the Rock, but it was a silhouette of him. It was him doing the elbow drop. But then I was just like, yeah, we gotta think of like something.
What happened to those guys?
Yeah, right. I wonder what happened. But I was just like, yeah, we gotta think of like a wrestling move, like an taunt, because again, 8 years ago, that's so crazy too. Like how many podcasts are out right now? Like back in 2015?
There's none.
There's really none. You know what I mean?
Pritchard's podcast wasn't even a thing yet.
No. And it's just like, we got to think of something.
No,
I was like, no,
Flair,
in case we get
the Man or Flair show, but they were on like CBS radio.
Yeah, it was crazy. But I was just like, yeah, you know what? Like, no, because if we do that, I'm sure it's already been like copyrighted or whatever. So I'm like, let's just do our names. I was just like, Pry for Price, Ma for Malloy, and then Low. I was just like the first syllable of all our last names. So we did like a month of worth of episodes. And like I did like 16 graphics, just like logos for ideas. And then people were like, "What is that? Is that Primalo? Primalo?" I was like, "Shit, we should have changed the name."
Yeah,
we're already into it, but it was just whatever. It's just fun to say. So that's why I was like,
PML.
Let's just do PML. Let's just do PML, whatever. But yeah, it's like a quick flashback right now as you're saying the elbow drop. Like that's like my whole thought process. Like the first 3 months.
In your old apartment, Flo be playing piano in the back room.
Yeah, then us in the other spare room. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. Crazy memories. We could probably talk about that in the very last episode.
Quick thing I was thinking about really quick.
No, go ahead.
Remember we had your landlord do a gig stance with us?
Another lifetime ago.
Yeah.
Dude, Beer Olympics, dude. We can talk about that in the last episode. You guys can hear about some of our stuff and then recording.
We should do the Beer Olympics again someday.
I don't know, bro, after Saturday.
Yeah, I'd probably die. We'd probably both
die.
No,
if it was just beer, I think it would be good. If we could switch it up to seltzers, yeah, maybe your boy has a chance. But if
we would both need one of our brothers on our team.
If we're doing like mixed and like, oh no.
Me, you, Jesse, and Mike take on the world.
Dude, crazy.
Like you guys drink all the beer.
Yeah, it's crazy. Look at this move. Look at this. I've always wanted to do a German bridge. I'm always afraid my neck would land first before the person. Yeah, I don't think that's physically possible.
I was always worried about taking a German, which I took.
Oh, I used to love taking them.
And what?
I used to love taking them.
I was always
it's an easy sell.
I was always worried about when I land it that it was going to be landing on my neck and doing a neck bump. But I've always been able to jump. I always jumped, and like even if especially if a bigger dude just gave it to me, they would kind of chuck you to begin with, so I would jump with it.
Yeah.
And I would just roll and blah, blah, die. Yeah. And I remember the guy would get me up. He's like, did I really throw you that far, or was that sell? I was like, oh, definitely a sell. Definitely a sell.
Yeah, dude, definitely gains.
They're like, how's your neck? I'm like, I'm good. They're like, yeah, I'm good. All right, let me spear you 4 times. Okay. And then the match over. But
that's the other thing too, man. I miss wrestling sometimes. Stunting wrestling.
Any weekend you're free, we can go work.
Dude, I'm not fit for it though. I was thinking about it.
Yeah,
man.
I just ran 2 miles today.
Did you?
I got a 4K or a 5K on Monday.
Oh, you do? Yeah, I'm definitely.
Yeah, I still keep myself in pretty good shape. I think I'd be able. I would say I am much slimmer than when I wrestled, but I also was a little more jacked.
Yeah, you're not looking like Bulldog right now.
No,
Bulldog is jacked to the gills.
Brett's
in pretty good shape
thin,
here too, but
don't
his
take
gear.
any supplements. Literally just drink protein. That's
there you go.
Yeah.
But Brett's even in pretty good shape, but you don't really see it because of his attire. But he's always been in pretty good shape.
Brett's always been really.
He's a smart man. If you ever wanted to get fat, dude, you can get away with it. You know what I mean? Because that attire.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I'll wear if we come back. Because if I lose weight, you really won't be able to tell. If I gain weight, you won't be able to tell.
That's why I always wore a singlet, because I always drank beer, so I always had a mild gut, and I was like, yeah, I'm not taking my shirt off.
Yeah.
So
people always shit on it, but I've always wanted the MVP gear.
MVP.
It was just something different. It looked sporty for his character.
Yeah, and he's not a jack guy though either. He's a good-looking guy, but he's not jacked. He's not Bobby Lashley.
No.
He's not Shelton Benjamin. I'm just thinking of the Hurt Business. Anyone in the Hurt Business, you know what I mean?
God, you see that sharpshooter? The way he let go of that sharpshooter. I'm sorry, I don't know if you saw it, but
No, I caught it. Yeah,
looked like it just
tossed him.
Just tweaked his He tweaked his back. But this match, man, it's pretty good. It's about what 30 minutes long. I think we're getting to the end here. Oh, this actually might be the end.
Oh, there we go.
It is the end.
1, 2, done.
Look at the crowd pop, dude. Green fingers everywhere. Mass shot going everywhere. We really didn't talk about much about this match, so I apologize, but.
Yeah, we got a lot of other things through. It was a good topic point.
I know, but people listen on the radio, they have no idea what we're talking about. I mean, we went over the card. Legion of Doom Money Inc. real quick. I should have wanted to know. I know Hawk got like suspended or like.
Yeah, because he was high on elephant tranquilizers before the match.
I know, but like he ended up making an appearance at WrestleMania 8, so I kind of wish that match was at WrestleMania 8.
That was the first thing I ever showed Kenzie. Was the entrance.
Yeah, I remember you snapped it. I believe.
And she was she like hyped. She was hyped.
Yeah.
So LOD's that was honestly my favorite match on the card.
Really?
Yeah.
Over this?
Yeah.
Over the Warrior Savage?
Yeah, just because of the motorcycle.
Over Nails Virgil?
Yeah, Nails Virgil for sure. Yeah.
The exhaustion. I always this I know like it's an old podcast or old episode, but Conrad asked Bruce to do an impersonation of British Bulldog during this match because Bret Hart says, I think it was in Bret Hart's book or somebody's book, that like Bulldog 30 seconds into the match forgot everything. So Conrad says, asks Bruce to do a impersonation of that. He's like, drop down 4, I forgot. But Owen wasn't there. Because he always says Owen wasn't there. So it's just so funny. I wish I could just do impersonations. I probably would have been more entertaining on this show. But I can't do any impersonations. You do really good theme song impersonations. Give me one right now. What the hell is that? What is that?
Bret Hart's theme song. Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
All right, that last part.
Whoever's listening to this in their car, they just crashed their car.
Yeah, because you're sorry. Shit. You got excited.
We drank whiskey at the beginning of the show.
We had one shot, dude. Calm down.
Yeah.
That can't be your excuse for off tempo.
No.
You're a bagpiper, dude.
Yeah,
well, you're a drummer of a bagpipe band.
I'm a banger and a blower.
You're a banger of a bagpipe band. Look at the exhaustion, the story they told. Look at that.
Big Rhino. You do a good Stu Hart impersonation.
Me? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know if that's his real thing. I do a good Bruce Pritchard impersonation of Stu Hart, of his impersonation of Stu Hart.
Hey, at least they're not going, sassafras.
Yeah.
JR always talks about this show. He's just like, Bruce is a dick.
That's amazing. But there we go. Look at this little shot here.
Yeah.
I wonder if Bret or Diana has this framed.
I mean, I would hope so.
Because obviously,
Diana didn't do much in the business after this.
No. So like I said, she has a little feud. Well, she's on screen for the Michaels feud in '96, but after that, she's really not. But she's very supportive of WWE because they try to help Bulldog, in
Multiple
the late
times,
'90s,
man.
early 2000s.
It is sad that a lot of good wrestlers that really put their body on the line did divert to these types of drugs and everything, and alcohol too. And it really just because British Bulldog, he's a young man when he passed away. He'd still be alive today.
Oh yeah, his son's killing it right now.
Harry Smith, I would love to see him in the WWE. He's an incredible wrestler, incredible talent, and I am shocked that he's not on AEW television. He does a lot in MLW. He redid the Hart Foundation with Brian Pillman Jr.
Well, he's not a WWE guy, dude.
What's that?
He's not a WWE guy.
Yeah, that's a whole other conversation for a whole other day.
Got the pyro.
But Harry Smith, I mean, he is an incredible wrestler. He's a big dude. He's a big guy.
He's gotten so much better from his first run in WWE.
My God.
Which a lot of people do because they get to learn to work in different audiences and different locations with like different styles. So it only makes sense. But I
would
agree
love
with
to
you.
see him versus Roman, because he's so big. Him versus Roman would be great.
I think I need a character to go against Roman. But if it was like on the indies, I mean, I think it would be great, of course.
So I think he would do better than in AEW. Where would you like to see like what's Davey Boy Smith Jr.? Where would you like to see him?
I mean, definitely in WWE in some capacity, of course. Especially
like an IC title run.
Yeah, definitely
him.
Start on the mid card level.
Be better than Mr. Perfect's son. I think Curtis Axel was a decent performer, and he was obviously well thought of, especially trained with The Rock.
Yeah.
But I think, maybe he would be better now, too, if he came back. I'm pretty sure
He's a
he has
producer now or
backstage role
something?
like that.
I know he's definitely backstage. I've seen him in a
So
couple
he's a good mind for the business. Good for him. But overall, I think I would love to see him WWE to some capacity, especially even him. They could put him and Cody together as a tag team.
Yeah, maybe.
Something stupid like you bring him. I don't know, bring him in for that, or
Well,
go against the Bloodline.
Yeah.
That would be a cool concept. So yeah, that'd be great. Would you like to see Bret Hart still like being in a manager? I'm just trying to like talk about and kind of close up where they could be at this point in time.
No, I completely agree. I don't know, man. Bret Hart, man, he's just spiteful sometimes. So I think he should just keep giving hot takes and shit like that because it gets people talking about him or the topic that he's giving his hot take about. Although the only thing I do enjoy him when he's spiteful.
Prick. That's what I think of Bret Hart. Man's prick.
Maybe. I just think he's spiteful. But the time when he is spiteful that I actually enjoy is when he talks shit about Goldberg because I think it's the funniest shit ever. Other than that, everything I'm just like, Bret, like, come on, man.
Well, I'd be pissed too about freaking Goldberg.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right. It's not really, it's a spiteful, but he actually has kind of a right to be spiteful. Yeah, you're right about that.
But everything else, no.
Yeah, it's just like what? Like,
Get
what
over
are you complaining about, dude?
Yeah.
Like you were in it, like you were protecting yourself too. Those people that you're bitching about, they were protecting themselves. Like, just calm the F down. That was the business back then because it was really no guarantee money.
Yeah.
Obviously, you were getting guaranteed, but not everybody else was. So that's why everybody was in it for themselves. It's not now. So calm the F down. Stop being so damn spiteful.
Pretty much an original WWE contract, and this is for like besides like Hulk Hogan and main eventers. Road Dogg talked about it on the show. Road Dogg also has a podcast. Everyone has a effing podcast.
Yeah, I think you have a solo podcast.
Yeah, I should. So the weekly guarantee back in this point in time, there was no weekly guarantee. It was you get 12 matches a month, once a month, and I think you get paid $50 a match.
Wait, what is this?
That was Road Dogg's guarantee.
Yeah, I know, but like when though? Like what year? Like Road Dogg or when he was Jesse James because he was a roadie?
The roadie.
Yeah, but the roadie, he wasn't really a wrestler.
Yeah.
I feel like.
But he said that was a typical contract for like...
okay. I
gotcha. So it wasn't like... It might have not been Jeff Jarrett or Shawn Michaels' contract, but it was
like lower
Crush.
level.
It was lower mid-card talent. Like all those lower guys. So like obviously he's like, yeah, I made more than that. He goes, I made $1 million.
Oh yeah, dude.
But,
DX Jesse James, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, legit.
But it was like that was their guaranteed contract. Like, or Billy Gunn was talking about that too when he came up with the Smoking Guns. He had the same contract, and he was working every day.
Yeah.
Because Vince like brought him in. He had a full-time job still, and Billy Gunn was like, "So do I have to keep my full-time job?" He's like, "Nah, you'll be on the road every week." He's like, "This is just." He's like, "Okay," like very concerned. Like I'd be concerned too. Like, am I gonna like work here and starve?
Yeah, seriously.
Which has been the thing over the years in a lot of wrestling promotions, but no, this is definitely one of these matches that's like you can't even really comment on because it's just so technical. There's a lot going on.
That's true, yeah.
But overall, I mean, Bret Hart, where he goes from here is maybe top. He's number one in my book as technical wrestlers. But overall, he's in the top 10, I think, of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
Completely agree. And that match elevated him to make people believe that he was a main eventer. Yeah. That's his first main event as a solo person, and
for both of them
delivers.
too.
True, yeah.
Because he's getting rid of Dynamite Kid and he's getting rid of Jim Neidhart. Yeah. So it's like, where do these guys go from here? And I think if British Bulldog didn't get popped, he would have made it to Mania.
They would have stayed it. Yeah.
Now, do you think in 98, 99 when he came back, was there any chance whatsoever that he could have been a world champion?
No. He just didn't have the character that Triple H or Foley or Taker or Rock or Austin had.
Yeah.
Even Kane. You know what I mean? Like, he had the legacy, but when you needed him to deliver a promo to get like at the level of a Triple H or, like I said, a Taker, Austin, Kane, Foley, like
he was like a Steve Blackman.
Yeah, it just wasn't there. Like even think of the mid card level. Like Jericho is doing crazy promos. As a heel, Angle was doing great promos. You know what I mean? Like, so like even at the mid card level, I think he would have been I think he still would have been a great IC champion. I know he was European champion, but I think he even could have I think his European title reign was only like a month. I wish that actually could have been longer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I kind of wish he made it to Mania 2000 because I don't think he did.
No, he did not.
No, I remember he made it at Rumble 2000, but I think that was it. I wish he made it to Mania 2000, kind of got a little bit of closure. But again, we don't know what was going on with him personally, but it is kind of cool to see. I mean, I feel like this 92 year is always like a what if with that kind of stuff because 93 booking was so wonky. It's like because of what happened in 92 at Warrior and Bulldog because
and one was a steroid trial right around this time.
Yeah,
right?
92 is when they started. That's why they fired Warrior and British Bulldog, but 93 was like, all right, everything's gimmick and everything's small people physically, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, so it's always like a what if year, like what could have happened if
because you have Diesel as champion, but he's not.
That was 94.
He's not Macho Man. Like
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's weird, but the undercard you can kind of see the undercard brewing with. Well, that's what's even crazy too. Like the undercard's not even that deep now. I'm thinking about it. You have Taker and Michaels. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
But obviously this is one of the more remembered SummerSlams because it is overseas. It's the first international pay-per-view. Obviously we're getting that new. What is it? Castle something?
Newcastle. It's literally I think what the pay-per-view's called.
No, it's not, dude. Clash at the Castle?
Clash at the Castle, maybe.
Check. But anyway, it's been what? 30 years?
20 years? Oh, 30.
30.
Shit,
yeah, dude, we're old, man. 30 years since we were seeing their return for a WWE pay-per-view, like national pay-per-view, not an insurrection.
Yeah, it's called Clash at the Castle.
Okay. So it's not an insurrection or not a rebellion, but like an actual pay-per-view solely, not UK only. Do you kind of like... I'm assuming you would have wanted this a lot earlier than 30-year difference, right?
Yeah.
I know NXT did one, but it was just
I think they should have had a WrestleMania by this point, or like you think of like where in the world is wrestling popular, and you think of all these people that made their way through wrestling, Mexico, America, Canada, UK,
and Japan.
And Japan. It's like the 5 hotbeds through all the continents in the world.
Yeah.
For wrestling. And I'm actually shocked that there hasn't been one in Japan.
That'd be hard. I feel like I could be wrong. I just if you think about it, I feel like they haven't televised anything over there either.
Yeah, I guess because there is a language barrier, but like to an extent,
Japan, might be the appreciation style because instead of like cheering, they just clap.
Yeah.
So like, how's that gonna look on camera?
Yeah, and at the same point, because I was gonna say the language barrier isn't there because a lot of people in Japan, they're taught English in school when they're kids.
I just think it's their appreciation factor.
Yeah. Because you look at it too, it's like sport. They're like,
yeah, it's
like
it's all graceful.
How would you be if you were gonna watch?
Oh, dude, imagine
a
hitting a
high
home
school
run.
wrestling match.
Dude, just hit a home run. What the hell? Like you expect people to go nuts, but people are just like,
yeah,
it's like, oh, okay.
And what's the biggest sport in Japan? Baseball.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's their pastime. They love there's great articles
they
on
show
wrestling.
Respect. They don't.
I mean, even the pro wrestling articles in Japan are huge.
Yeah, it's credible, professional.
Yeah.
But it, like you said, like it's a grace. Like they treat everything with grace, and they're not rabid. And not saying that rabid's a bad thing because I think the UK crowd, if you're watching it on TV, like we kind of just saw, that's in the '90s. I can't wait to see what Clash at the Castle is because that's going to be like crazy ravaged fans because it's been so long.
Yeah, and I think we'll have the same
crazy.
thing over there too because there's so many good indie promotions even over there.
Yeah.
WXW runs out of Germany, so that's a big promotion over there. There's another big promotion at the 90s at this point in time was Otto Vaughn's promotion over there. And then you have in like England, Ireland, it's called Insane Championship Wrestling. That's an indie promotion over there now. It's huge. Triple H would show up on shows over there.
I did see that. Yeah,
It's a lot of guys that are in NXT over there, and then plus you have NXT UK, which you have your product over there, so you have training facilities over there and everything else.
Yeah, so
I think it'll
they
be
did do an NXT
whatever was happening in 1992, times it by 10. You might have 165,000 people at a show.
Yeah, I mean, they can fit it, but if not, it's going to sound like it for sure. So it's going to be interesting to see, but that's why we definitely wanted to cover this.
I'm actually more excited for that show than I am for SummerSlam at this point because I know it's going to be a big show.
Yeah, completely agree. That's
a good time to bring in Davey Boy Smith Jr.
That's true, too.
Smith.
Yeah, you know what? That is true.
That's a great time to bring him in.
You're smart, man.
Because there's a lot of highlights on, because they were going to bring him in during COVID, but if I was him too, I would not want because
No, because it's destined to fail. You didn't no response.
Nobody gets you. Well, there's nobody here.
Yeah, there's screens.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree. I'd be smart man, and he's been there before. He knows the politics.
Yeah.
So
and he gets that. And I'm sure Triple H is probably high on him. I'm sure, Bruce Pritchard would really appreciate him. He's a bigger guy now, especially Paul Heyman.
Oh,
Paul Heyman would love him.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I feel like Paul Heyman's always for the underdog.
Yeah.
Or like, this isn't working right, I'll fix it, make it work right. Like Roman, for instance. So, to me,
whatever what happens. I mean, that timing sounds absolutely amazing. So we will definitely see. But again, hope you guys enjoyed the show.
Also, too, before we close out, through that ad-free shows network that Conrad does, there's going to be a panel discussion you can get on pay-per-view of Bret Hart going over this match. So, hey, Bret, Conrad is making the money, and I wish we were.
I completely agree.
But if you're a wrestling fan, you want to check that out. That's something I will probably try to find free on YouTube.
And if you guys are at the show, tell them that the PML Crew talked about it first.
And needs a job.
And we either could take a job, but tell them that we were just as entertaining. Yeah. And we didn't need Bret Hart. But tell them that we would definitely love to meet Bret Hart also.
He wasn't even there.
He wasn't there. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. This is our last SummerSlam that we talked about. So next week will be Survivor Series. The following week will be Rumble.
All I know is whenever, I don't even care if we post it like a year after we're not even doing the show anymore, we still have to do an episode with my brother doing why the Test Undertaker match is even in the discussion of a good wrestling match.
Always. We definitely have to talk about that and record it in some way, shape, or form.
I don't care if it's on a cell phone.
Yeah, we'll record it for sure because it needs to be answered to the masses. But anyway, all I have to say, we will definitely record that and post it because we'll always have our social media at PML Show, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Maybe not Twitter, I will say. I have easy access to IG and I have easy access to Twitter, but I just don't follow Twitter anymore. So IG and Facebook, I'll say. But either way, we have SummerSlam we just covered. We got Survivor Series coming up. We got the Rumble 92. We got our 2 WrestleMania matches, and then we're closing out with the finale of Freestyle. That's what we'll call it, either the finale of Freestyle or finale of Free Ball. We'll see what happens. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We are the PML Crew. I like style. Dude. Off air, we'll talk about it. But it was a suit. I bought a $90 suit off Amazon, and I wore it to Burke's wedding. I'll show you a picture. You wouldn't even know it's $90.
I'll have to check that out.
Whole bunch of colors, dude. I got 4 lined up in my cart already.
You're like,
add to cart, add to cart, add to cart. It's got to make sure it fits. It fits. I'm going to buy those probably for later in the summer. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the show. We're the PML Crew. Rich Lopez, not the baller, the styler. Here's the baller, homeboy Malloy. Robert Price always with us. Thank you guys for always watching us over these last couple of years. But we're going to finish strong these last couple episodes. So definitely stay tuned. And make sure you always tell a family member, tell a friend, tell a wrestling fan, because we are going to be finishing strong. So enjoy your week. Enjoy your weekend. As always, stay safe and peace.